Example 10 and 11, this time we're going to be having grouping symbols and combining like terms, variables on both sides, everything. So you're going to definitely want to have your foldable out to go through the steps because we're going to use all of them this time. So starting at the very top, do we have any grouping symbols? And yes, we do. We have grouping parentheses on the left and grouping parentheses on the right. So we're going to be distributing to get rid of the parentheses. Let's start on the left. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. Then we're going to do negative 2 times positive 1, which is negative 2. Now, we're going to distribute on the right, so we want to look on the outside of the parentheses, and right next to it is this negative 5. So this 6 just comes down, but we're going to do negative 5 times x. Make sure you take the sign in front of the 5, so it's not a positive 5, it's a negative 5. So that's negative 5x. Then negative 5 times positive 3 is negative 15. Step 2, combine like terms on the same side. So on the left, we can't combine these, but on the right, we can combine the 6 and the negative 15. So 6 minus 15 is negative 9. Bring down the minus 5x, and on the left side, we still have negative 4x minus 2. Do we have variables on both sides? Yes, we're going to move the smaller one. So which is smaller, negative 4 or negative 5x? Negative 5x is smaller, so we're going to add 5x. We're going to add 5x. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's hard to write on this sometimes. So negative 4x plus 5x is 1x. Bring down my minus 2. And over here, my 5x and my negative 5x cancels, and I'm left with negative 9. Then I want to move the constant on the left because it's with the variable, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides. And that leaves me with x equals negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. Now to check it, you're going to have to use your calculator, and where you see the x, you're going to plug in negative 7. So you type in negative 2, open parentheses, 2 times negative 7 plus 1, close parentheses, and hit the equal sign. So negative 7 times 2 is negative 14, plus 1 is negative 13, times negative 2 is 26. And then on the right, you do 6 minus 5, open parentheses, negative 7 plus 3, so that's 4 times negative 5 is negative 20 plus 6. Okay, so you should get the same on both sides. I'm just trying to quickly do it in my head, but use your calculator for your checks. All right, 3, open parentheses, negative x minus 2, close parentheses, plus 5x plus x equals negative 3x minus 3. So let's start with grouping symbols, and yes, we have parentheses on the left. So on the left, we're going to do 3 times negative x, which is negative 3x. And 3 times negative 2, which is negative 6. Bring down my plus 5x and my plus x, and that equals negative 3x minus 3. So then we're going to combine like terms. So I'm going to combine this negative 3x and this plus 5x and this plus x. So negative 3x plus 5x, that's 2x, plus x is 3x. So positive 3x. Bring down my minus 6 because I have a constant here I need to bring down. And on the right, I have negative 3x minus 3. Now, do I have, so I did grouping signs, combine like terms. Now I have variables on both sides. Which is smaller, 3x or negative 3x? Negative 3x is smaller, so we're going to add 3x to both sides. That leaves me with negative 3 on the right. And 3x plus 3x is 6x. Bring down my minus 6. Now we have constants on both sides. So I'm going to move the one that's with the variable by adding 6. All right, so those cancel out, negative 6 and positive 6. I'm left with 6x. And negative 3 plus 6 is positive 3. Last step is divide by 6. And x equals 3/6, which is 1/2. So always simplify that. 3 divided by 6 is decimal 5 if you put it in your calculator. Same thing as a half. If you write it as a decimal, that's fine too. Just know when you're looking at your answer, if it's multiple choice, that it might be written as a decimal or as a fraction, and you just need to know those are the same. All right, it's your turn. Now do J and K by yourself. And when you're finished, press play and we'll go over it together. So let's take a look at J. Two sets of grouping symbols. On the left, we're going to start out with 2 times 5x, which is 10x. And 2 times positive 2 times positive 2, which is positive 4. Bring down my minus 2x. On the right, we're doing 3 times 2x, which is 6x, and 3 times positive 3, which is positive 9, and bring down that plus 7. Combine like terms on the same side, so I'm going to combine 10x and negative 2x to give me 8x. Bring down that plus 4, because that was a constant I needed to bring down. On the right, I have 6x, but I can combine the 9 and 7, positive 9 and positive 7. That's a positive 16. I have variables on both sides, and let's move the smaller one. So subtract 8x minus 6x is 2x. Bring down my plus 4. 6x minus 6x cancels. I'm left with 16. Constants on both sides. Move the one that's on the side with the variable. So I'm going to do minus 4 on both sides. That leaves me with 2x. Plus 4 minus 4 canceled, and 16 minus 4 is 12. Last step is divide by 2. And we get x equals 6. All right, and K. This looks like a really big problem, but have no fear, we can do it. All right, guys. Do we have any grouping symbols? Yes, we have 3 grouping symbols. So let's start on the left first. And we're going to do negative 2 times 3x, which is negative 6x. Negative 2 times negative 13 is a positive 26. Bring down my minus 17 and my plus x. Over here, I'm going to do negative times x, which is negative x, and negative times positive 5, which is negative 5, plus, then I got to do 6 times 2x, which is positive 12x, and then 6 times negative 3, which is negative 18. All right, lots of like terms to combine. So let's start with negative 6x and plus x. That would be negative 5x. So this went with that. And now I'm going to combine these two. Positive 26 and negative 17. Positive 26, negative 17. That gives me a positive 9. So plus 9. On the right side, I'm going to combine the x's. Negative x and positive 12x. That's 11x, a positive 11x. And then negative 5 and negative 18. Same signs, add and keep. It's a negative 23. All right, so now we have variables on both sides. Let's move the smaller one, negative 5x and 11x. Negative 5x is smaller, so we're going to add 5x. Positive and negative 5x cancel. I'm left with 9 equals 11x and 5x is 16x. Bring down my minus 23. I have constants on both sides, so we're going to move the one that's on the side with the variable by adding 23. Positive and negative 23 cancel. I'm left with 16x. And on the right, I have 9 plus 23, which is 32. Last step is to divide by 16. And 32 divided by 16 is 2. A lot of work on that one, but guess what? We're done. I hope you did well. Just follow your foldable. It literally goes through every single step. Start at the top. Ask every question as you go through the problem. And remember, when you have variables on both sides, it's easier if you move the smaller one. Okay? All right. Great job today. You have one more challenge problem left. Give it a try.